Welcome to the Retro Minute. I'm Jeff, your host, as we go back in the day, in the 1950s through the 90s, with a middle-class white boy growing up in America. The year is 1971. Gas prices are 36 cents a gallon, bread is 25 cents a loaf, and movie tickets are $1.50. Sounds great, except the minimum wage is only $1.60 an hour. The war in Vietnam is still raging, and President Richard Nixon will soon be unmasked as a crook. There's no LGBTQ plus rights, abortion is illegal in 44 states, and oral and anal sex is illegal in many states until 2003. Pakistan starts a major war with India and loses. Starbucks and Taco Bell open their first stores. The voting age is lowered to 18. Jim Morrison of The Doors dies in Paris. The Soviet Union launches the first space station. And there are no cell phones, no home video, no internet, no streaming, no social media. I have always loved dogs. After my parents moved from starving students to work and getting a house, we always had dogs, starting with two gorgeous Irish setters, beautiful dogs, a little high-strung. Then a couple of black labs, a poodle, and my favorite, a Siberian husky. But when I left for college, what I had for transportation was a 1967 BSA 441 beast of a motorcycle that vibrated so hard the kickstand kept falling off. So I was jonesing for dogs, I guess. I was a new student at Humboldt State College, a small school in a small town on the far northern coast of California. So I had a new roommate, seemed like a cool guy, tall, gangly, kind of awkward, but we got along. Then one day I saw him shooting up in his room. Now I'm a kind of weed, wine, mushrooms kind of guy, never into hard drugs. But we talked, and it turned out he had a progressive degenerative disease, and the shots were helping him to deal with it. So we decided to grab some beer and head for the beach. We drove 20 miles up to Trinidad, and then kept going to the cliffs where the redwoods literally come down to the sea. It was a windy, stormy night, been raining earlier, and we found a path leading all the way out on top of one of the cliffs. No longer had we sat down to drink, but I heard a desperate whimpering sound. I looked over the cliff, where it was a 75-foot drop to a surging sea and sharp rocks, and there was a small ledge about 7 or 8 feet down, with a small dog, suffering, soaking wet, and trying to climb up the side of the cliff unsuccessfully. I didn't think the dog was going to last long, but what to do? We had no rope, and there was no way to call anyone. Remember, this was before cell phones. Neither of us really knew anyone. The stores were closed. There was just no way we were going to get a rope to get the dog up. I told myself it was stupid and way foolish, but I went over the edge anyway, softly dropping down to the ledge. The dog had a collar and tag, so clearly had a home, and was just lost. I boosted the dog up to my friend, and then he helped me up. The dog took off back along the top of the cliff and was gone. At this point, I was stone cold sober, realizing what I'd done and what could have happened. I guess I really was jonesing for dogs. That's this week's Retro Minute. Thanks for listening. As a bonus, I'm going to share this song I co-wrote and produced in 1994, called Malibu Break, because along with dogs, I love the beach.
Then